Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
We're going down in another round, and we're going down swinging. We'll be number one in a minute. Oh my God! Oh, I even practiced that one before we started. I was like, ha, ho, he, ha. Oh my God! Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker, not Fallout Boy. Shout out Fallout Boy. They old as hell now. It is Wednesday, and I got the $2 of the $2 Sports Show and the birthday buck of the $2 Sports Show. Uncle Buck and Rusty, how are we, fellas?
What up?
How was your birthday?
It was good, man. We had a good time. And are y'all hearing an echo, or is it just me?
You sound wonderful.
I'm just gonna power through it. So, no, it was all good. If you can't tell, I've got the kids.
I love it. I love it.
It's chaos in the Gann household this morning. We're good here in East Memphis, man. Waking up slowly, Luke, as we talked about in the green room. I don't know why I woke up so tired this morning, but I'm also tired of the Memphis Grizzlies on their losing streak.
Oh, dude, who needs transitions when I got you? That's exactly what I didn't even need to do it. The Grizzlies lost yesterday, in case you could not tell by the sleepy vibes we were giving off. Which is a bummer because it wasn't really a sleepy game, if you can call a game sleepy. But the Grizzlies lost 134 to 125. It was a really crazy, different, weird game to watch. You know, the first half seemed like Jesus Christ, and then the third quarter we played like a different. I don't know. It was a lot, and to be perfectly honest, Steph Curry had 12 threes, 5 steals, and 50 points.
50 plus, 10 rebounds. He's like the only person, him and Kobe Bryant, only ones ever. Grizzlies. Like if you take the second and third quarter, we had a ball game. We played competitively. Ja was amazing. Jaren was getting what he wanted, except for he got in freaking foul trouble again. But we just dug too big of a hole in the first quarter. I mean, Steph had 24 in the first quarter, 35 in the first half. It was a Steph Curry game. And the reality was we were in it at halftime. We were down, 5? In the third quarter, we kind of took it to them a little bit, felt like this was our game to win. And stop me if you've heard this before, but we had a collapse late in the fourth quarter.
No, sad, Luke. Yeah, it's really upsetting because maybe upsetting is the wrong word. The Grizzlies are doing this thing to us where we are seeing signs of, I don't want to say signs of life because this team wasn't dead. They were close to dead, but we are seeing shades of a really good basketball team in these 3 losses, I would argue. Ja's playing the best game. I mean, I think Ja's playing the best series of games he's had over the course of the season. I mean, he looks like vintage Ja, and he looks to be having fun again. I mean, shout out Grizz Girl. It's vintage Steph. Ja was spectacular. I would argue he was, after Steph, he was the best. I mean, you redo that game 10 more times, I would argue that the Grizzlies win. I mean, Steph isn't going to play like that every other time, you know?
It was a great game. It was entertaining to watch. We had energy. The effort was there. We got, great game out of Ja. We just took Steph's best punch and then let a few more guys, Jimmy Butler was amazing. They're now, they won 19 out of the 24, 25 games he's been there or whatever it is. Like, it's ridiculous. But there's a trend here. Last night, and this is from Gabe Kuhn from our network, last night with 3:38 left to go, we were up 121-16. The Warriors go on a 9-0 run, and we lose. Against the Celtics, we're down 110-103 with 2:55 left. They go on a 7-0 run, and we lose. The Lakers, we're tied at 113 with 6:46 to go, and the Lakers outscores 21-14 down the stretch. And then the Thunder, we were up 99-97 with 7.5 to go, and the Thunder tear off a 16-0 run. We're just young and don't know how to close games is what that tells me.
That's a game we'll remember for a long time. I mean, there's been reasons to feel bad about losses, lots of them. I mean, and this one probably hurt the worst when it comes to just like what it means for your standings and where it's placed in the season with 7 games left. I didn't feel bad about that game at all. I thought that was an incredible basketball game. I thought you saw Olympic Steph, and he was unguardable, and it didn't matter what the Grizzlies did. That is special. Like watching that, it's just like you can't even be mad. You can I could be frustrated at Tripp for continually getting in foul trouble again and fouling out way too early in a game that's extremely close. But I mean, that game was decided because Steph Curry went nuclear. And when Steph Curry goes nuclear, there is nothing more fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah. He might be the most entertaining when he's going nuclear. I mean, it's just like
it's not even close. There's not a close second.
I just hate that it always happens when we're playing him. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
I watched, for comparison's sake, I watched a good bit of that Nuggets Timberwolves game last night, and Nikola Jokic went for a 60-point triple-double.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nearly as fun to watch as Steph last night.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it didn't matter if we closed out, if we flew by, if we, had a hand in his face. Like, Steph just wasn't missing last night. But can we talk about Zach Edey? He was cheeks in the first quarter and just keeps getting better. I'd love for him to play all 4 quarters that way, but it's like he's like a running back. You got to get him in his rhythm, get him going downhill. 10 points, 16 boards, a plus 13. He had a ton of great blocks. Draymond is a non-threat on offense, so that certainly helps kind of free him up to be a little bit better defensively. But each game he plays better, and was an absolute beast on the boards last night, grabbing 16 rebounds.
Yeah. It is. He's totally a matchup dependent big, and when Draymond or their 5-man cannot stretch the floor and be trusted to shoot, then Zach Edey's allowed to sag off of those pick and rolls, and it's more beneficial for him. You saw him struggle against Al Horford, against Boston on Monday night, and then Tuesday night you saw him be dominant. And I'm telling you, he was really good. He was really good. What's going to take him from being a good NBA player that gets played off the floor to a really, really good NBA player is just figuring out that pick and roll defense, though. Being able to guard a 5 that can shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all I'm not killing the kid Wayno. I love what I'm seeing from Zach Edey. He's getting better the more he plays. And there were moments in the Boston game where he played well, but it was outmatched with some more athletic bigs that can stretch the floor for sure. But I just like seeing he set some thunderous screens last night for Ja Morant to open him up, and he's getting more comfortable being on the floor and being big. And so, he's a rookie, going to make rookie mistakes. But what I'm seeing in year 1 gives me hope for years 2, 3, and 4 that are coming.
Yeah, man, Edey has you take away I've been getting all these good teams we've been playing. You take the Celtics game out when he was in foul trouble, pretty early the whole time. He's had 2 double-doubles since Taylor's been let go. It's just, he seems we're finally utilizing him in the way that he was meant to be utilized, I would say.
I will say that offensively, he looks really good. And you can tell a difference on how he's being used offensively. I still stand by my point that defense will be the issue. And I compared him to Rudy Gobert. I don't know if you heard, because he's just going to be played off the court defensively when you get to the playoffs. He just will, until he figures it out, how to handle a pick and roll. And so that'll always be what kind of sticks and what hangs in the back of my memory. But there's no doubt, offensively, he's a weapon.
Yeah, and he's going to figure it out defensively because he's a rookie. This is year 7 of him playing organized basketball. We're going to figure it out.
About all that stuff, but those are good points. I've just never seen the 7'5" guy be able to play in a pick and roll, ever. In history.
he's racking up these double doubles. This is his first set of double doubles since February of 28th. Like I said in the group chat yesterday, I do believe that Taylor Jenkins should refund some of his paycheck for how he mismanaged this, because he is an offensive weapon, absolute offensive weapon. I mean, those putbacks, those tap outs, he's a rim threat, and it's been fun to see him step up in Brandon Clark's absence too. If we'd had Brandon Clark in either of the last couple of games, I think they go different. Brandon Clark is kind of the missing piece for us from an effort, defensive, rebounding level that we're truly missing. And like Wayno said, like it is what it is. We're going to accept the play-in and move on. Nothing ever comes easy to Memphis. That's the direction we're heading. You might as well buckle up.
Man, a buddy of mine texted me last night. He said, I just want you to know I blame you. I blame you for the play-in. I blame you for firing Taylor Jenkins. I blame you for giving John Morant that gun. And I was like, whoa. What the hell,
Were you
man?
the one? Were you the one?
Bro, we can move on. We don't even have to talk about that. Whether or not I did or did not give a certain number 12 a certain firearm, that doesn't matter, okay? We're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about the other rookie very briefly, because I don't know what when Jalen Wells is playing Steph Curry out of his mind, I don't really know what you expect, what you can hope from. But I mean, he was still a +3. Like both our rookies were positive plus-minus yesterday, and I just think that's good for rookies. You know, I know plus-minus isn't everything, but I do like to for rookies. I think it matters. And even though Wells just had 5 points, 4 boards, and 1 assist and a steal, it's still just like I want his shot. I want him to find his shot again, like it was earlier this season. But I mean, he's not making boneheaded mistakes right now. He's just offensively, he hit that wall, and that comes with it. You know, like he's doing everything else right, I would say.
He hit some. He hit some. It feels like he hit a couple threes last night, didn't he?
He hit 1.
Well, he couldn't have hit a couple because he only had 5 points. So.
He hit 1. Like his shot's too pretty to not start falling. But what you're talking about, like what he does well, will never fill a stat sheet, and that's why a big reason why he's fallen out of the Rookie of the Year conversation. Again, the offensive wall for sure, but like just the way even last night, Steph Curry was absolutely a walking flamethrower. And yet he still was pesky and in his hip pocket and did, ultra some passes and slowed him down. Steph could have went for 70 last night if it hadn't been for Jalen Wells with the way he was shooting. But I think Wells continues to play well defensively, and that's only going to get better as he matures and get used to being in this league. The shot's too nice. It will start falling.
I think that's why it looks – that's why you assume more than one win in Uncle Buck is because it looks so pretty. From like a visual standpoint, it's like, God, it's a really pretty
it's a nice shot.
It's a really nice shot.
I had a feeling that when I was watching the game back, I was watching it totally on an island. I did not watch the second half live. I didn't even watch the first half live. So I came home and the game was over and I started it and I had to put my phone down to avoid spoilers. So, I mean, it was just totally me in the game, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I felt Desmond Bane had backbreakers on turnover, backbreaking turnovers.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Ja had back-breaking turnovers, like getting into the lane and losing the ball. And
so
you can
many
tell
times.
a veteran team like Golden State, they figured out, like, okay, Ja's going to drive and he's going to jump up in the air. Then he's going to figure out what he's going to do. Or he's going to get into the lane and he's going to pause and he's going to try to wrap it. Or whatever. Like, they were not letting him get away with any of that hesitation stuff, that last-minute stuff. Yeah, and Dez was just throwing it to the other team. Like, he only had 3 turnovers on the game, but man, I thought they were brutally timed.
John Dez had more turnovers combined than the rest of the team. They had 9. The rest of the dudes
had 6.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
the biggest one was late in the fourth. It was a 2-possession game. He drives to the front of the rim. He jumps. He tries to do the wraparound that Drew's talking about to Zach Edey and literally hands it to Jimmy Butler right in the middle of his stomach.
Because the thing is, like, you're trapped at that point. It's such an easy scout, because if you're going to get hung up in the rim, hung up in the air, then find something to delay his decision making, like a half a second into travel, or he's just going to wrap that ball around to Edey. He's done it 1,000 times, and he just stood in between, just stood in front of Edey and was like, "Okay, I will be Edey now. You hand me the ball."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We, Luke Kennard, we did get three attempts last night. He made one of them. So, he listened to the show the last couple of days. He got a little bit more than cardio in last night.
But he's just not bad at when he plays basketball. It's not like he's horrible. He doesn't affect the team negatively when he's not shooting the ball.
He had 5 assists.
I don't know why he's out there. If he's not shooting the ball.
He had 5 assists last night, but we don't pay you to be a point guard. You're a shooter. That's what you're supposed to do. And 3 threes ain't it.
He keeps the game moving. Like it seems to flow well. Like he does get assists. He does get a few rebounds. But it's kind of like a pitcher that's got 4 pitches, but his curveball is unhittable, and he just keeps on throwing the slider. He just keeps on humming a 3-pitch mix of a fast change and a slider. Like
it's really, it's a great point, Uncle, because he's just a body out there, like when he's not doing what he does the best, which is shoot threes. It's like he's not hurting us. He's just out there playing 20 minutes and not doing anything, which is fine. Which like let's talk about, because I think we've seen through these 3 games with Tomas, it seems that he has solidified who he's playing. Like this rotation has been trimmed the F down. I mean, we played 8 guys last night. I'm not counting Bagley because he played 3 minutes. We played 8.
That was Jaren's fault.
Yeah, Jaren's fault. We played 8 guys yesterday, and granted, Vince was sick or Vince was out. I think that probably attributed slightly to this.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's okay. We played Dez, Ja, Tripp. Who did Edie play more than 30? I think Edie played more than 32. Yeah,
everybody played more than 30, but
Pip and
Luke.
Pip and Luke.
Right?
And Pip didn't need it. Pip played 23. He had 10 points in 23 minutes last night. Scottie Pippen Jr. continues to be a force.
Like Pippen and Santi are like, they're in this playoff rotation. I would say at this point, and it's them and the 5 starters. I guess Luke is gonna soak up some minutes. I guess he's got. I don't know. I don't know if he's not shooting the ball. I don't know why you need Scotty and Luke both out there to run backup point.
I gotta go, guys.
Get out of here, brother.
And the baby just woke up. So enjoyed it. Wasn't the worst Grizz loss ever. Got to go on a 3-game winning streak now. See you tomorrow on the 2 Buck Sports Show.
See you, brother. Get out of here. Tell the kids we said hi.
All right.
So we have just, there are, is this the rotation you want to see in the playoffs?
Yes.
These 8 guys, is this who you think we should roll out? That's what I want to ask.
Vince contributes defensively, but like he just hasn't been as good this year. I still don't think he's 100% healthy, and I think that's a lot of it. But I like this. I would like to see Luke get less minutes. Santi has been better of late. He had 18 last night. Like he's been a bit more consistent. He's still a defensive liability more often than not, but he gives us size and athleticism and a 3-point threat. So I like this rotation. I don't know, again, where Luke Kennard fits in here if he's not going to shoot. But I do like what we're doing here for sure.
Because, dude, you look at this rotation. It's frustrating. You know what a rotation of Desmond Bane, John Morant, Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Wells, Santi Aldama, and Scottie Pippen could really use someone who shoots the ball lights out from 3. Like that's a good rotation. If Kennard is only if Tomas sits him down and says, brother, I don't want you to do anything but shoot the 3 ball. I don't want you to do anything. That's what I think in this trimmed down rotation that is probably going to be our 8-man playoff rotation. Maybe Vince in there, but this seems to be the 8 that Tomas trusts. And if Luke Kennard is the flamethrower bucket guy off the bench, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, but if he's not doing anything, we
hadn't seen that since
January.
Yeah, January. Like we hadn't seen that in the last couple of months. Like he had that little stretch where he teased us all, where he had like 21, 27, 24, just went back to being, Nuke. And now he's non-existent. APB out for Luke Kennard, right? We were at games. Maggie would be like, when he comes in, everybody goes Luke, and she's like, "Why are we booing?" And I'm like, "No, saying Luke." Well, now we should be booing, saying "Boo, shoot the ball, boo," because like I don't know what his role is. Again, fine. We if you wanted to distribute the basketball, cool. But we've got guys that can do that in John Morant and Scottie Pippen Jr. You have one job. Shoot the ball. DG seems shout out DG. He says this, it might be just a 1-game thing. He's just a curmudgeon. He's just what it is. Like if you watch each game, like it's been whittled down more as we're getting closer to the end of the season. I think that's definitely a trend that we're seeing.
Yep. And there's one more. Oh, let me see if I can find it. There was something that there it is. So in this trimming down of the rotation, and in this, have you noticed this? Do you think Triple J is getting frustrated, mentally exhausted more with this trim down rotation, with Jaw getting a bit more? I don't think so. I think it's just.
I think he's gotten a bit lazy defensively
Yes.
and kind of reverting to some old habits. I don't know. Maybe it's frustration King Meeks. It could be. I don't think so. I think that what we've seen is just again some laziness defensively, because the defensive rotation and scheme has been a nightmare anyway.
Very
so
bad.
he's reverted to some old habits. I don't know necessarily. It may be, but I don't think so.
I think it's more. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's more about the defense as a whole is just like kind of going. Man, we're still like a plus. Our net rating still ain't bad, but it's just.
I mean, that's the thing. Like the maths. Like we're still a good mathematic team. But the production on the court is a bummer, right? You look back and over the course of our schedule and see all those L's, and it's just not panning out.
Nope.
Part of it is, these teams have trimmed down to their playoff rotations, and their playoff rotations are a bit better than us. Like Wayno said a little bit ago, we're relying on 2 rookies heading into the playoffs, and I like the rookies that we have, but they're rookies, and rookies historically do not perform well in the NBA playoffs. And we've got what we've got, right? Spoiler alert, we're not going to be able to do a whole lot this off season because of the way we handle Marcus Smart's contract, and we just don't have a ton of tradable assets.
Which it sounds like I didn't even have this on the docket. It sounds like, based on what we heard yesterday, the Grizzlies are fully intending to re-sign Jaren and Santi. It seems like that's where the money's going. It seems like that's where they're committing their funds. That's
going to be your off-season acquisitions, because you don't really have a guy like this. Ain't 2K where you can put Conchar and whoever else together, Luke. Santi and Luke, and then go get Kevin Durant. Like this ain't 2K where you can force trades through. Like, just be prepared. KD is going to be a hot topic, and he's going to be a name that's out there, and there's going to be Grizzly fans and sections of the fan base that are like, oh, we're going to get Kevin Durant. Like, we can't trade, Rendezvous Ribs and John Conchar and get Kevin Durant. So this is going to be your team. We're just, we're going to accept where we are, understand that we're probably still a couple of years away from our championship window, and that's fine because the guys we have are young, and they're going to be great in a couple of years. Part of that's on us for setting those expectations. But I think the front office will show they agree if they promote Iisalo to the head coach job.
Yes, I think well said. And putting it back on us, like you were saying, we did maybe we blew our expectations through the roof, and this team was young and overperforming. Verno says it all. Chris Vernon, shout out him. He says it all the time. It's like 27 is when these guys peak.
That's it.
Teams are we're a lot younger. We're the 5th youngest team in the league still.
We've got all of our stars are 2 of them are 26, and one will be 26 later this year.
Yep.
And they'll all turn 26 in this calendar year. Most teams most players don't win their first title till they're 27, 28. That's historic. And so, this is one of them, bootleg accounts where it's like, here are the most underachieving teams in the world. And one of them's like the Grizzlies of 22 to 25. And it's like, bro, like our superstars were 22, 23 years old during that stretch. Like, that's like, I'll own that. I'm a man. I'll own up when I mess up. And I own up that I was like, hey, super high on the Grizzlies this year. Thought we were going to take that next step. But coaching tomfoolery and malpractice combined with youth and rookies, I probably oversold just a little bit.
Which that's fine. We all get excited. We're all human. We're all guilty of that. Yeah. I don't blame you, sir. What was this? Oh, I'm getting. This just in. I'm getting something in. It's the standings report. Oh my God, the standings. It's time to report to the standings. I have fun with this. So let's look at the standings right now because they have changed. Don't look now. The Grizzlies are in 7th. We are a half game back behind Golden State for the 5, and we are tied with the Timberwolves.
That game's going to be wildly important when we play them next week.
Next week. Yep.
Yeah.
We got to say that we need to win the last 2 games this week is the biggest understatement of the year. But I don't want to be in the play-in. No. I really don't want to be in the play-in. I hope to God that we can.
I mean, you got to take care of your business. You got the
got to take care of your business.
You got the Pistons. You got the Hornets. You've got to win those 3 games. Like, yeah, the Pistons are fun. They're a trendy basketball team. You got to go beat them, right? You got to beat the Heat. You got to beat the Hornets. They literally aren't trying anymore. They shut down, Ball and everybody, and so you got to win those games, and it sets up a matchup for all the marbles with the Timberwolves because we literally do not have a single tiebreaker now. If we beat Minnesota, we'll have that one, and we're going to desperately need it.
The good news, if there is any good news about this, is we tend to play them pretty well. They're one of the few teams that we
match up well,
and we've seen that we can beat them in big moments. We've done it, but it's crazy to me that we were the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And now we're sniffing the play-in. The play-in is a very realistic possibility at this point.
It's like we talked about, man. 2025 has not been kind to us. 2024, we played pretty well. We, looking back, probably played pretty well. Lost some games we shouldn't have, but a lot of teams are going to do that early in the year. They're not going to care. They're going to check out and lose some boneheaded games because that's what they do. But 2025, man, when we turn that calendar over, it just feels like it's gone downhill. From Taylor Jenkins and his buffoonery, the trade deadline, like everything is just went against us through a lot of it our own doing. Yep. And so we put ourselves in a situation and we've got to fight, scrap, claw our way through. And DG's right after. Yeah, we do have the tiebreaker no matter what. We already own the season series with them, but we've got to it's big boy time, nut cutting time, as we've said. Pardon the expression. You got to go win basketball games.
Yep. And that starts tomorrow. You got to go in and win tomorrow. Because we're gonna check back into these standings again tomorrow, we have to at this point. Every time there's a game, we got to look because there's movement. But we're done with that for now because now we're gonna draft some stuff because it's draft day, not the movie. Draft day, not the movie. Man, I am so excited to draft this stuff. Yeah. I was struggling with this, and you were like, "What about breakfast foods?" And I was like, "Man, oh my god, I love breakfast."
Yes.
So we're drafting breakfast foods because breakfast is the best meal of the day. It's the best food of the day. It's the best. I love breakfast, man. I wanted breakfast as soon as you sent me that last night. I was like, can I make breakfast right now?
Yeah, breakfast for dinner, man. It's a staple in my house growing up.
It's the best. I would do that every night. I digress. So we're doing breakfast foods. I'm going to flip this coin because Uncle Buck's not here. Now I have a 50% chance to go first, even though you know what's going to happen.
I'm rooting for you, Luke.
Damn it. I actually got really excited on that when I was like, oh, it flipped. You can go first.
All right. So now it's just 2 of us. I think we can do 5 because there's a myriad of breakfast foods out there. And so my first one, my favorite breakfast item, I love eggs Benedict. Give me eggs Benny all day long. There's a restaurant in Myrtle Beach that churched them up. They'd have some duck on one, smoked salmon. They had brisket. They had all these different eggs bennies. They literally had 20 of them, and I was all in.
Hollandaise sauce, so good.
Poached egg, yeah, man. Love me an eggs. And you put it on a biscuit. You can put it on an English muffin. Eggs Benny is my 101.
It's not what I thought you were going to say, but that's a good pick. I'm going to pick just bacon.
It's hard to beat.
Bacon. It's tough because the older I get, the more of a gut bomb it becomes. It's like I eat bacon. I'm like, oh God, but I love it. I'm not going to give it up because I love bacon.
Yeah. Speaking of gut bombs, biscuits and gravy is something I grew up on, but not any. Just so I like white gravy. I like chocolate gravy. That's Mississippi. But my mama makes tomato gravy and biscuit. And I know it sounds weird, but it is the goat gravy. It was my birthday breakfast every year growing up. Biscuits and gravy, but particularly for me, tomato gravy and biscuits.
Man, gravy. I don't know if we've talked to Wayno about gravy. Wayno, if you don't know what gravy is, gravy is so good.
It's American. It's American can get.
It's so good.
We literally take the grease left over from bacon, throw some flour in it, and pour it over biscuits. Come on.
You have a mason jar of bacon grease. Oh man, I won't.
Come on.
Okay, come on now. I'm gonna be weird with my next pick, and this isn't even. So if I was on death row, I would just want cereal as my last meal. You just give me 8 boxes of cereal and let me go and open them and smell them and be like, oh yeah, good year. This is a good year, Lucky Charms. This is good shredded mini wheats. I love cereal. I like That's all. Amazing. I think I've got 5 boxes upstairs right now. I love it. I know it's not good for you. I know my body hates me, but I will substitute a meal a day with cereal.
Bro, I've got 30 breakfast items here on my list, and I didn't list cereal one time. And I love Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks, baby. Apple Jacks.
That's the GOAT. Man, that's solid. Threw me off there. I didn't think about it. All right. So growing up, our Christmas breakfast every year was Mama would make cinnamon rolls, and so cinnamon rolls go like just a hug for your belly, right? It's just so good and nostalgic for me in that. So I'm going cinnamon rolls like Grandma used to make.
Cinnamon, man, they make a cinnamon roll Pop-Tart, which I'm not taking Pop-Tarts, but they make a cinnamon roll Pop-Tart. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna take French toast. Sticking in this sweet. I love a sweet breakfast, and you said cinnamon rolls, and immediately I was like, well, can I get French toast if I can't get cinnamon rolls? And I can't get either right now, but I'm picking French toast.
There you go. I'm more of a savory breakfast kind of guy. But this next one, I'm going to come out of left field with this one. And if you know, you know, but a Monte Cristo.
Oh, yep.
Oh my God. It's literally a fried ham and cheese sandwich that you dip in blueberry sauce with confectionate sugar on it. Like, it's the best of both. It's like, you seen Rookie of the Year? It's the best of both worlds. It's the best of both worlds. It's the best of both worlds. It's sweet, savory, best of both worlds. Monte Cristo.
Rookie of the Year is so good. I've thought about Rookie of the Year forever. Oh God. Okay, so sticking in the sandwich theme. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I don't care what people say. Fried bologna.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Fried bologna.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys when people tell me what fried bologna is, I'm like, you know what? It sounds great. Sounds great. I don't care. You know what? It's all the parts of the pig that nobody else likes. I like those parts. Give it to me. Give it to me.
That's it. You congeal them, put them in a roll, slice it, and I'll eat it, man.
I'll eat it. Give it to me.
Yeah. All right. My last pick. I was gonna go like out of left field, and like Bloody Mary is a great breakfast drink, you know. But cheese grits.
Oh,
like
I had cheese grits.
Get some grits, throw some cheese in there. There's a place, Stacks does Gouda grits. It's just like Gouda cheese. And, oh my gosh, so good. Give me cheese grits is my final pick.
Wayno, do you have grits?
Yeah, they probably call it something weird,
like,
like the devil's dandruff or something dumb. Like like they make fun of all our foods, but they don't season it overseas, and then they have weird names for it.
So I'm gonna take with my last pick.
Okay, grit. Wayno does not know grits. So it's literally like corn that's finely ground, and then it's put together in like a little meal. You put a little water in, it thickens up. It's like porridge, I guess, for you overseers, but it's more savory and it's a finer grit. It's not oats. It's a cornmeal that's ground really fine.
Porridge is a good comp. It's like a cheesier porridge. So, oh man, my fried bologna pick blowing up. I love it. So I'm gonna take waffles with my last pick. I'm gonna be easy, be simple. I love a waffle maker. I love a waffle party. I love just waffles. And I didn't pick this, but I don't call it a poke the hole. I call it a frog in the hole. With circle in the toast.
Yeah, in the toast. Yeah.
Delicious. Poke the hole sounds a little. So corn paste.
Not corn paste. No, it ain't like Vegemite over there. Like literally, it's just like a powder that thickens up in like a little side dish. I don't remember how to explain grits.
Corn paste. Ew.
That sounds also like Vegemite. Hey, real quick. You're about for the second time we're announcing a celebrity death. First it was Sean Connery, although he'd been dead for a number of years. R.I.P. Iceman, man. Val Kilmer. Man, that's awful.
Found out last night when I got home from work, and I was like, he'd been sick for a long time, but I think he had pneumonia, which just R.I.P.
Yeah,
Iceman.
He's had a lot of other things going on. So, you know, Iceman, Doc Holliday, R.I.P.
Doc Holliday, yeah, R.I.P. Yeah.
Batman, like he was all the things.
Oh, we know what the hell.
Will you stop?
Stop with the corn nasty words at the corn.
So King Meeks, my granddad would put sugar and jelly in his grits, and I'll do that occasionally. Not the sugar, but the jelly to make it sweet. But I'm more of a savory guy, so I like a little bit of garlic powder, salt, pepper, and cheese is how I typically make my grits.
Yep.
When I lived in Myrtle Beach, like Charleston, South Carolina is known for their grits. Like the way they make them, it's special. I don't know. And so I do grew up in Mississippi and I love grits, but Charleston, South Carolina grits are where it's at.
Man,
I'll get you some sent over there, Wayno. Don't worry.
It's not a stew, Wayno. Okay,
we're quit saying stew in these comments.
We're getting over this. I don't like the word stew with my grits.
Stop it.
Okay, so let's recap our stuff. I had waffles, I had cereal, I had fried bologna, I had bacon, and I had French toast.
French toast. Mm-hmm. I take notes because I forget.
I forget too.
Yeah. My first pick was the goat eggs Benedict. I had biscuits and gravy, specifically tomato gravy, but however you prefer it. Cinnamon rolls, Monte Cristo, and cheese grits. We're eating good.
Man, can we just have a code, like a potluck, and just bring this and just like get fat and happy?
Ooh, I love a good breakfast potluck. Let's go.
God, breakfast, you know what? Show's over. We're having a breakfast potluck. Thanks for tuning in. That's going to do it for us today. We're going to go have some breakfast. That's not true. I am going to go have a bowl of cereal. Thank y'all for watching
tacos
today.
For me.
Yeah, breakfast tacos. Wayno, don't bring corn stew into my show again. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow. $2 Sports Show is going to be tomorrow. Anthony Stain is later today. Go check all the shows out. We're going to have Grizz 901 live again tomorrow. Got a lot going on this week, y'all. We'll be back. Have a good day today. I think the weather is going to be crazy all week. You got nice in Nashville.
Well, it's going to be nice. It's nice right now. I think this afternoon it gets a bit nicer.
Okay. I don't know. It's tornado weather around here. Just be careful. If we can leave you with anything today, other than being careful, remember these two things. Remember to be a little weird. And remember to smile, especially if you're eating breakfast. Y'all smile. Have a good one, y'all. See you tomorrow.